For a point in time, Derrick Rose was one of the most electric players in the NBA. Unfortunately, he's never fully recovered from a torn ACL suffered early in his career. And while he's managed to turn himself into a solid role player in recent seasons, it's fair to wonder just how good Rose could have become had he not torn his ACL in the 2012 NBA playoffs. Rose dominated his opponents in his prime by taking his game to them. Whether it was flashy finishes at the rim or a plethora of tough jump shots, Rose could do it all. Even to this day, he's remained a solid scorer when called upon, and he's always found a way to keep his teammates involved when he's running the offense. While many other basketball players looked up to Jordan and Bryant for their moves on the court, Rose was different in the sense that he looked for them for inspiration in developing his competitive mentality. He saw that's what helped them make them great and helped them beat their opponents. And for a while early in his career, Rose did the same thing with the Chicago Bulls. In today's video, NBA players are talking about how insanely good prime Derrick Rose was. Before we begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting NBA stories. Let's keep rolling. Joakim Noah. Former Bulls center Joakim Noah appeared in a recent episode of JJ Redick's The Old Man and the Three podcast and explained why one-time NBA MVP Derrick Rose means so much to Chicago. He was Chicago. And I don't care, his run at his peak, if you're from Chicago, you wanted it to be that. You wanted it to be the #1 pick from the Bulls, having that building rocking the way he did. And the hope was real. The hope all around the city, Noah said. Rose and Noah played together on the Bulls, and they had a lot of success in the regular season. They were also teammates on the Knicks one year. The two Bulls legends have not played in a game with each other since the 2016-2017 season, but they have a close bond beyond basketball. Kobe Bryant. One person who has always believed in Derrick Rose was none other than NBA legend Kobe Bryant. Bryant was a veteran, a 5-time NBA champion, and the reigning MVP when Rose entered the league, and got to witness his progress firsthand. Bryant even gave great respect to Rose in an interview during Rose's meteoric rise to superstardom. He came in when nobody said he could shoot. Just like that, one summer, he has a jump shot. That doesn't happen overnight. I'm proud of him. The two had a very strong relationship, especially after they worked together in the promotion for the NBA 2K10 video game. Bryant and Rose were two of the featured athletes and were involved in a commercial for the game to promote it. Bryant and Rose were very close, and the two clearly had great respect for each other. They never got to play high-stakes playoff basketball with or against each other, but they understood each other's game very well. Getting the chance to watch Kobe and Rose go against each other in a high-stakes game would have been great for fans. But we were never able to see that happen. Hopefully, Rose will get more playoff basketball opportunities as his career comes to a close. Luol Deng. During the 2011-12 season, the Bulls stormed through the regular season with 50 wins. Late in Game 1 of the first round against the Sixers, a jump stop changed everything. Derrick Rose was out with a torn ACL. Still, the glue guy knows who the player that made the Bulls a legit LeBron challenger was. And as is every basketball fan, Deng still isn't over Rose's knee injury. I've seen guys that are athletic, but Derrick is the most explosive guy from point A to B that I've ever been around. I think that's what made it so hard to guard him. Just that first step was always so explosive that whoever was guarding him was behind him. And I think that's what makes him so unique. You can be athletic in many different ways, but Derrick Rose's athleticism was so powerful. It's just different. Unfortunately, he seemed to have been too explosive and powerful for his own body. Just as he returned from the ACL, Rose tore his meniscus 10 games into his return in 2013-2014. That era of Bulls basketball was over. Deng feels that the organization gave up on the rest of the team too soon, but agrees without Rose, their chances were much lower. One of the greatest what-ifs of the past 2 decades. Richard "Rip" Hamilton. The ultimate stamp of approval is when your peers have a high degree of reverence for you. Kobe Bryant has that. LeBron James has that. Michael Jordan has that. Lots of guys have that. Despite his NBA career peaking prior to turning 24 years old, Derrick Rose is one of those guys. On the All the Smoke podcast hosted by Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, Former NBA champion and three-time All-Star Richard "Rip" Hamilton talked about his 2 years in Chicago, and specifically the brilliance of Derrick Rose. "I played with a lot of great players. Derrick Rose during that time was probably the most talented player I ever played with. There's a lot of great players in our game right now when you're talking about the point guard position. You know, you talk about Steph, CP, Kyrie. Listen, none of them dudes wanted no smoke with Derrick Rose in the Derrick Rose era. I'm telling you right now, none of them dudes wanted no smoke with D. Rose during that time." And Rip really brought the heat with that one. He called out some of the league's best point guards of all time, and certainly the best of this era, saying they didn't want to smoke with Rose. I love everything about that. He's not wrong either. Had Rose stayed healthy, he'd be at the top of that point guard class. John Wall. All-star point guard John Wall says MVP Derrick Rose is the toughest player he's ever played in his life. Wall was a rookie when Rose won the MVP award with the Chicago Bulls during the 2010-2011 season. D. Rose won the MVP at 22. He is still the youngest MVP in NBA history. The Chicago native guided the Bulls to the best record in the league during the 2010-11 season, all while averaging 25 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 7.7 assists. John Wall spoke about MVP Derrick Rose with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. "Toughest player I've ever played in my life. Man, when I tell you it was nothing you could do. We've never seen a guy be that fast and that athletic, but have one of the best floaters we've ever seen. His floater was impeccable. He never missed off 2 feet. Since winning that MVP award, Rose has unfortunately undergone multiple knee surgeries. However, the former Bulls superstar is still one of the best point guards in the NBA and remains a blur in transition." Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo was on the Celtics back then and had won All-NBA Defensive Second Team honors. When asked to describe what that 7-game series was like, Rondo said, "7-game series when he was out there? Boy, he put you in trouble. You're on your heels the whole game." Derrick Rose averaged 19.7 points and 6.4 assists in the series and had a huge 36 points showing in the first game. That performance ties Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 39-year-old record for most points by a rookie in his first playoff game. Rondo said Rose is still out here being explosive while hooping, and he's still getting in there and jumping over everybody. He was too explosive. He was for sure a one-man fast break every night. Keep in mind that Rondo is a 4-time All-Defensive Team selection, including a second-team selection in 2008-09. That was the season Rose won Rookie of the Year honors and faced Rondo directly in an epic 7-game first-round playoff series matchup. Rondo's Celtics prevailed, but Rose averaged 19.7 points and 6.4 assists. Rose truly was a force to be reckoned with in all ways. And what do you guys think? Could Rose have won another MVP if he never got injured? Would he also have been able to carry his Bulls to a championship? Where do you see his career going now? I would love to hear your opinion, so please let me know in the comments section. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing NBA content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!